Hey there, this is Matt with State of Flux here with two reviews for you for two films recently dropped on it to HBOMax. And I'm happy to say that both films are absolutely stunningly fantastic. The first one I want to talk about is The Menu. The Menu was able to break my top 10 movies of the year and land itself in place number 8, which is really high marks. I loved this film. It is especially fantastic because of an extraordinarily good set of performances from Ralph Fiennes and Anya Taylor-Joy, who are so compelling. This is a worthy takedown of the service industry, but more than that, I think that this is a takedown and an examination of the artistic merits of art industry and how we as film critics, like there's two sets of critics kind of in this film. There's the strict critics who are there to judge the work of Ralph Fiennes' character, and they are painted as people who were able to bolster this man's career and then slowly just take strikes at it and pick him apart and tear him down. And this is a film where he exacts revenge on that. So this is kind of a takedown on film criticism and some of the bad faith criticism that happens out there, while also taking a stab at influencer culture and armchair criticism. There's an influencer kind of character who's always like pulling out his phone and stuff like that and taking pictures. And when he's put to the test of can he cook with the best of them, that's why he's in this industry, that's why he's interested. He's not able to rise to that challenge. I think there's a lot more to say about the art industry than people are giving it credit for, but if you work in the service industry at all, you're going to really enjoy this movie. As I say, it all comes down to those two extraordinary performances that really elevate what's going on here. It's a well-filmed movie. It's one that has plenty of intrigue and ideas, and it keeps you coming back to them. Your thought lingers on this film for quite some time afterwards. Yeah, I just love this movie. If you've not seen The Menu, please do yourself a favor and watch it. It is currently streaming on HBOMax, but just run out, buy it. You'll love it, I promise. The other movie I want to discuss is The Banshees of Inisherin, which was able to break my top 5 favorite movies of the year and land in my number 4 spot. The Banshees of Inisherin is an extraordinary movie. At once, it is both simultaneously the most melancholy movie I may have ever seen, while also being laugh-out-loud funny. Martin McDonagh is an extraordinary writer. He knows how to write scenes, he knows how to have poignant weight to those scenes, but he also knows how to turn a phrase, and he knows how to just tickle that funny bone, sometimes in the exact same moment that he is like stripping you of any kind of hope that you may have. It is extraordinary in the way he does this, and in that sense it acts as a kind of a firm sister film to like his other masterpiece, which I would call In Bruges. In Bruges may not have aged particularly well with its certainly lack of PC joke material, which at the time when it came out was considered refreshing, now is very like cringy. But I still maintain that movie is extraordinary. This acts as a fine sister film to that kind of pulls out any of those elements. However, what it also does is it gives you a window into the falling out of two friends. Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson give award-worthy performances. They are fantastic, and they're both played to pure perfection. But this film is set in the 1920s backdrop of the Irish Civil War, which is always kind of on the outskirts of the story. It's not really there, it's just kind of there to remind you of that setting, but what you find is that you are thrust into your own kind of civil war and as to whose side you should be on. This is an uncoupling of two best friends, with no real reason given as to why that is. Now, I've heard from some people that that is very reflective of the Irish Civil War that was happening during that time, and this is a meditation on that. But I think even independent from that, just having that backdrop of this conflict that you're hearing about, and then you're seeing a conflict that makes sense but also doesn't at the same time, really puts you in that mindset. And then they do it as well under this like kind of unusual, it's not really supernatural, but like offbeat storyline where you have a woman who kind of acts as her own banshee, a warning sign, that places commentary, almost like like a force that just comes in to offer warnings, harbinger of doom kind of presence, who may act as a banshee herself. And this element of the story lingers like kind of a sort of like a haunting tale. She acts almost as if like she's the crypt keeper without the jokes, just weaving into the story to remind you of what's to come. And every time she says something, it's a fortuitous exclamation. And I really liked that element of the story. It's extraordinarily well written, and I haven't even touched on how stunningly beautiful it is. This is one of the most beautiful movies I've seen all year. It is the cinematography is great, and I hope it gets a nomination, if not a flat-out win for it, because it is just superb looking. Now I'm going to enter into the one bit of territory where I say that I'm coming at Banshees from Inisherin from a slightly biased angle, in the sense that throughout watching the film, I didn't realize that I'd been there. Early on in the movie, when I'm looking at some of the photography, I was like, man, I feel like I've been to that pub, and I feel like I've been to that city. And doing some research, the film is set on the Aran Islands, and for my honeymoon, I did a couple nights stay in on the Aran Islands, and we traveled along them. So I have been there. So that just tickled the nostalgia bone for me on a very personal level. Seeing something that I have such beautiful, fond memories of captured so beautifully and cinematically really helped elevate that part of my appreciation of the picture. But independent of that, this movie is just stunningly perfect. I'm really campaigning for this one come Oscar season. So hopefully we'll be talking about this in just 2 weeks' time again as it gets nominated for a slew of awards, but I'd be shocked, absolutely gobsmacked, if it did not get a nomination for Best Picture, Best Director, Cinematography, and probably the two lead performances. It's a great movie, one that's worth your time on HBOMax. Watch it. It is hilarious. It is poignant. It is sad. It is melancholy. It is perfect. Check out The Banshees of Inisherin. Both these movies get strong recommendations. Rent them, buy them, do what you can to support them, because they are great. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Peace.